I had a situation that I am curious to see how many of you have had the same thing. I've listed something on Facebook Marketplace, and I've had 5 buyers fall through. And at first, you kind of dismiss it and think maybe this guy just was a flake, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But then after the second or third one starts trying to coordinate a time and place to meet you, and then they just ghost you in the middle of it, like the day that you're supposed to meet. Just gone. No interest whatsoever. It's gotten so bad that I expect people to bow out an hour before they're supposed to meet me. Like, we've already got it all coordinated. Time, place, here's my cell, text me when you get here, and then nothing. What finally got me was yesterday I had a guy, he messaged me with an offer, like immediate first thing, not a, generic, hey, would you take this, but an actual offer. I hadn't seen any of that come up on Facebook Marketplace. Says, will you accept this price? Gives me the option to click a yes or no on it. And I said, yeah, absolutely. And then as soon as he started going through the normal spiel of where you located, all this kind of stuff, I said, I've had several other buyers bow out, so technically it's still available. He said, that's not me. My word is gold. He was supposed to be here 7 hours ago. He may have had something come up. It very well could have been that he was on his way here and he got into an accident. I don't know. But what I do know is that is so common, it's really, really unsettling. We used to have a phrase that we would say with great respect and honor is that I'm a man of my word. Like, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And we used to think of that in these big, huge, life-threatening or major catastrophe kind of moments where, yeah, if you're in the thick of it and you need help, I'm going to be there. When the going gets rough, you can always count on me because I'm a man of my word. Those are like gone. Those types of ideas are gone. And I don't know how they disappeared so easily. We have so much interaction online. You can lie. You can be anonymous. Nobody holds you accountable to what you actually say. And so you get in this habit of just flippantly saying whatever you want and not ever feeling obligated to back it up at all. There's so many stories of celebrities who say they're going to donate to some philanthropic venture that is going to change the world, and they're donating X millions of dollars, and they never donate a penny because they got that blurb in the news. They got the recognition, the celebration. It was all good publicity for them, and they didn't have to back it up. The sad thing is, I think if it happened once in a blue moon, these nonprofits would call them out on it, but I think it happens so frequently that people just don't expect anyone to follow through. There's this line in Interview with a Vampire where Brad Pitt's character says to another guy who's trying to take him out, he says, "You lack the courage of your conviction." I think it's the reciprocal today. You lack the conviction of your courage. People have the audacity to say whatever they want to, but they don't have any gumption to follow up with it. They're courageous with their tongue, but man, they don't follow through with anything. People give me a hard time because I don't necessarily say yes to everything, but I really do weigh whether or not I'm going to be somebody who follows through. I know I'm not the only person who experiences this. Everybody out there has to be experiencing it because it happens everywhere. When I was growing up and you used to tell somebody that you didn't expect anyone to follow through, they would call you jaded. Now, if you say that you expect people to follow through, the opposite. They will tell you you're just naive. Nobody does that. You can't count on anybody. And while there's always exceptions, there's never a blanket statement that really does apply to everybody. Sadly, it's reversed. It used to be that you used to be able to count on more people than you couldn't. Now it's the other way around. I hadn't really thought about it myself until today after this guy who said that his word is gold didn't show up, when I started to think, why do I not ask people for help? Or why do I not ask somebody to do something for me? It used to be because I was scared of rejection. I didn't want somebody to say no. It's better for my self-esteem. I can feel like, you know what? They would want to help me if I really asked. But since I didn't ask, then they didn't reject me. That used to be the way I think. Now it's that I don't want to expect somebody to do something and then them not show up, because then I'm up a creek. I could have prepared myself better if I wouldn't have been depending on somebody else. Now, like I said, it's not a blanket statement. There are some people that you can count on. But one of the things that I've noticed about the people you can count on now is they are looking to somebody who is older than them as an example. My neighbor is a prime example of that. He takes that being a man of your word very, very seriously. And whenever he and I have talked about it, he said that he wants to make his dad proud. I can completely resonate with that. I want to make my dad proud. My dad passed away in 2020, but I still am wanting to be somebody that he would look upon and say, that is my son. I am proud of him. He's a man of his word. He may fail, but he is trying and he works to follow through on what he says. If you're watching this and you don't have anybody that you look to as a good role model or who didn't set a good example for you, and you're following around the influencers, and that's who you look to as who you need to be, and man, I like what they say, I want to do this, I want to do that, I would really, really encourage you. The best thing that you can do is find somebody who is around you who follows through on what they say. You don't have to agree with how they live necessarily. You don't have to like everything that they like. But if there's something inside of them that makes them be a man or a woman of their word, try and get to a place where you can understand what that motivation is. It's a sense of responsibility that will set you up for success in anything that you do. The longer our culture continues down this path where people don't follow through and nobody's held accountable, the more and more unlikely it is that you're going to find somebody who is a person of their word. Because of that, when you start living this way and you start being a person of your word, you won't reap the rewards of that immediately. Because everybody is quick to say, yes, I'll do it. It's wonderful. Of course I'm going to be there. Why wouldn't I be there? And then they expect you not to be there. They expect you to gracefully bow out. I'm sorry, I had something come up. Work was busy. I've got so many things on my plate. I just can't do it this time. Because that's what everybody does. Everybody does that. And so they expect it. But if you follow through, if you actually show up, if you continue to carry out your commitments, you're cautious on what you say yes to. You don't say yes to everything. You really think it through. Is this something that I'm going to make a priority? I will make sure that I follow through because I said yes. If you say yes to those things and you keep doing it, you will stand out in the best way possible. Jesus told a story in the Bible about a dad who asked his sons to go out and help out in the field. And the first son said, yes, I will be there. I am going to be your number one son. I'm showing up. I'm going to work all day for you. And he didn't go. He never went out. He didn't do anything. This guy's other son said, I'm sorry, Dad, I can't do it. I've got other things I've got to do. But as the day went on, he was able to make it out. He went out and worked in his dad's field, even though he told him no. Which son do you think the dad is going to be more proud of? The one who said yes but didn't follow through? Or the one who said no but ended up showing up? One of my first management lessons I ever got was at Sonic, and my manager told me, after I'd overcommitted to our regional manager and I fell flat on my face, he's walking me out to the trash, taking the grease out that night, and he says, you've got to under-promise and over-deliver. Under-promise and over-deliver. It's a simple thing. You do what you say you're going to do. You don't commit to things that you're never, ever going to make a priority, but you make sure that whatever you do commit to, and it doesn't have to be big to begin with. Start with the small, I promise you. If you try and say, I'm going to give you the moon, you won't even leave the garage. But if you start daily making a conscious effort to follow through, to be a person of your word in the little things, it's a habit. The reason that we've gotten to this state, I think, really is because of the anonymity and the lack of being held accountable that comes from being online that has got us in this habit of, it doesn't matter what I say. Nobody really cares. But they do care. The people in your life, they notice, and they need you to be somebody who stands up, who stands out, who follows through on what they say. Be uncommon. Be a man or a woman of your words. And I can promise you, your life will be better for it. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate you watching. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please consider subscribing. If you like the content, give me a thumbs up, put something down in the comments section, share it on social media. And I will see you next time when we can share a cigar and change the world.